LazyTown might have the fakest title in TV history. What do you mean lazy? Nothing about this show is lazy. Not the man in a blue suit doing Olympic-level flips just to enter a room. Not the villain putting maximum effort into making everyone else do absolutely nothing. Not the songs that had no reason to go as hard as they did. And definitely not the production, which somehow combined live actors, puppets, green screen, CGI, insane choreography, and enough bright colors to make your eyes taste sugar. When I think about LazyTown now, I usually remember the memes. I remember We're Number One, which is genuinely one of my favorite songs ever. I mean, goddamn, that beat goes way too hard for a children's show.
We are number one!
I remember Robbie Rotten, one of the best villains ever. Genuinely, he might be one of my favorite bad guys of all time. I also remember the terrifying-looking puppets that stare directly into my soul. And of course, Sportacus, with his magnificent mustache, jumping around like a human trampoline. Probably the best superhero in a blue suit.
My hero!
But the more I look back at LazyTown, the more I realize something. This show was not just weird, it was insanely committed. Now, if you grew up watching kids' TV in the 2000s, most shows had a pretty simple formula. You had some of the best cartoons ever, like Ed, Ed and Eddie, Kim Possible, Courage the Cowardly Dog, and honestly, I could keep going because we were blessed. You had live-action sitcoms that made your day better, like Zack and Cody, Cory in the House, Hannah Montana, and a lot more. I mostly watch Disney shows, so I don't know about the others. Don't judge me. You also had educational shows with bright colors and a moral at the end, like Teletubbies, Barney, and maybe Dora. Did I hate Dora as a kid? Maybe. Does the theme song slap? Hell yeah. And then there was LazyTown. LazyTown felt like someone mixed a superhero show, a puppet show, a fitness commercial, and a Eurodance music video, then gave it way too much sugar. You had real actors, you had puppets, you had CGI backgrounds, you had a bright pink main character, you had a superhero who got powers from apples, and you had a villain whose evil master plan was basically, what if everyone stopped moving, ate cake, and let me nap? Like honestly, let the poor man relax. He might be my role model. On paper, this sounds like the kind of show someone pitches in a dream and then immediately forgets when they wake up. But LazyTown worked because it committed completely. It was strange, it was loud, it was way too colorful. And that is exactly what made it impossible to forget.
You know, LazyTown is really starting to feel like home for me.
Let's start with Sportacus. This man is the real alpha. He refuses to do anything normally. Sportacus cannot enter a room like a regular person. He has to flip into it. He does not walk like me and you. He parkours everywhere like the floor personally insulted him. And the funniest part is that the show treats this as completely normal. Nobody in LazyTown sees Sportacus do a front flip just to say hello and goes, "Damn, dude, that was insane." They just accept it. Like, yeah, that's Sportacus. He does backflips before breakfast. And that's what makes him cool. He makes being active look like the most fun thing in the world. Apples are power-ups. Stretching is superhero training. Basic movement becomes an action scene. This man is not just telling kids to exercise. He is showing us a world where being active basically makes you magical. And I respect that. Because if I could eat one apple and suddenly start doing parkour, I would be unstoppable. For about 3 minutes. Then I would need a nap.
Now that was a sportacular stunt.
And then you have the rest of LazyTown, which is filled with perfectly weird characters. You have Stephanie, the bright, cheerful, aggressively pink queen of motivation. She shows up in town and immediately decides everyone needs to get their life together. She is basically the human version of a motivational poster. But somehow, she is not annoying, because everyone around her absolutely needs that energy. Then you have Ziggy, who is basically a sugar addict in a bow tie. Give me a few snacks, and I'll turn into him immediately. Pixel is every kid who discovered technology and never emotionally recovered. Trixie is chaos in child form. She is not evil, she is just what happens when supervision fails. Mayor Meanswell is a man who means well, and that is pretty much his entire skill set. His name is not just his name, it is his job performance review. And then there is Stingy. Stingy is a ruthless dictator trapped in a children's puppet body. This man sees one object and immediately goes, "That's mine." He sees the sky? Mine. He sees the moon? Mine. He sees basic human rights? Probably also mine. Honestly, maybe Stingy is the actual villain of the show. Every character in LazyTown is simple, but they are simple in a way that works. You understand who they are in 2 seconds, and more importantly, you remember them. That matters. A lot of kids' shows have characters who are just the smart one, the funny one, the nice one. LazyTown had characters who looked like they escaped from a dream and somehow got a Nickelodeon contract. But now we need to talk about the real reason this show became immortal. Robbie Rotten, the perfect villain. And I know this sounds insane, but Robbie Rotten is genuinely one of my top 10 favorite villains ever. Maybe top 5. I am not joking. Because a great villain does not always need to be scary. Sometimes a great villain just needs to be unforgettable. And Robbie Rotten is unforgettable. He works because he is the complete opposite of Sportacus. Sportacus is movement. Robbie is stillness. Sportacus eats apples. Robbie wants cake. Sportacus does flips to save the day. Robbie will spend 8 hours building a machine just so he can avoid a mild inconvenience. And that is what makes him amazing. Robbie Rotten is lazy as a character, but he puts an unbelievable amount of effort in being lazy. That is the joke. This man will create a full disguise, build a trap, rehearse a fake identity, sneak around town, write a song, and emotionally commit to the bit, all because he does not want children to play outside. That is villainy. That is dedication. That is cinema. Also, Robbie is never boring. Every time he shows up, he acts like he's in a completely different genre. Sometimes he's a supervillain. Sometimes he's a theater kid. Sometimes he's a tired uncle who just wants everyone to shut up. And sometimes he's all three at the same time. That's why he works so well. He is not powerful, he is not intimidating, he is not even good at winning.
I won. End of story. Time to go. Bye-bye. Adios. Ciao.
But he is committed. And sometimes that's all a villain needs.
Also, Robbie has amazing disguises. And by amazing, I mean terrible. He will put on a fake mustache, change a hat, maybe do a voice, and suddenly the entire town forgets what Robbie Rotten looks like. They may not be lazy, but they are definitely stupid.
Who are you?
I'm a purple legend. What's wrong with you? You're teasing me.
This man is like 6 feet tall, purple, dramatic, and built like a question mark. And somehow, he puts on one wig and everyone goes, this stranger seems trustworthy. LazyTown has one villain. One! The same guy every time, and the town still falls for it. At some point, I don't even blame Robbie. I blame the education system in LazyTown. But that is also why the disguises are so funny. The show knows they are ridiculous. Robbie knows they're ridiculous. We know they're ridiculous. But everyone commits anyway. And honestly, that is the LazyTown formula. Take something stupid, do it with maximum effort, make it unforgettable. And of course, we cannot talk about LazyTown without talking about the music, because LazyTown's music goes way harder than it needed to. Most kid shows write songs that sound like they were designed to teach you a lesson and then disappear from your brain immediately. LazyTown did not do that. LazyTown wrote bangers. Cooking by the Book is supposed to be a song about following instructions while baking. That's it. That's the concept. But for some reason, it is way too catchy. Like, why am I emotionally invested in a song about reading a recipe? Then you have the Mine Song, which is literally just Stingy declaring ownership over everything he sees. That is not a song, that is a legal problem. Then there's You Are a Pirate, which feels like it was genetically engineered to get stuck in your head for the rest of your life. And obviously, my favorite one, We Are Number One. Absolute cinema. That song became a meme for a reason. It's funny, it's catchy, Robbie is giving the performance of his life, the whole thing feels like it should not work, but somehow it does. And that is LazyTown, a show where a song about villain teamwork can become one of the most iconic things on the internet. Rest in peace, legend. So now I need to know, where does Robbie Rotten rank for you, and what is the best LazyTown song? Drop it in the comments. Thank you for watching, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.